I am glad to see you well, though we could not roughly place your souls, deeply as you went. We could neither see nor hear you. The fluctuations in your ether near the end gave me quite a fright. What in the world happened? You mean to say Heidelin is... No. There's no time to feel our feelings. We must carry out Heidelin's will without delay. We'll find Medion if it's the last thing we do. If you wouldn't mind handing over the crystal, that is. The fancy navigatory one. To the edge of the universe, where it congregates the despair of countless stars. You were determined to see this through? We are. Should words fail us, we will fight to the bitter end. I know that it pains you to accept this, or that I need to ask nothing more of you. Yet, we have only two means to travel the great expanse, the moon and Charlene's ark. I am all too aware that without both of them, there will be no exodus. But I nevertheless beg you to honor the agreement we made. The Form's decision will be honored. You have earned the right to use the ship as you see fit, and I could not rescind it even if I wanted to. As it happens, I do not, and would do all within my power to aid your cause. With that settled, might I suggest you rest a while? Proving oneself to Heidelin is never easy, and despite our unparalleled genius, we'll need a day to make the necessary calculations. You may as well take advantage of it. You can chart a course through the Sea of Stars in a single day. Ye gods. Shall we head above ground for some fresh air then? And perhaps a nap? This story, not just reaching back to the Realm Reborn days, but even in the real world, like, we go through sorrow, we go through suffering and despair. And we often, we ask the question, what is the answer to all this? The answer is really how we react to it. Do we give in to suffering? Do we give in to despair? Or do we hope? Do we dare to hope? Do we dare to offer aid to others who might be in the same boat as us? Because in the end, we're not alone. So I think that's just powerful. Ah, I've been expecting you. I heard about your foray into the ethereal sea. The students have ventured far and wide, but never quite so deep as that. Are you experiencing any after effects in your prolonged exposure? Nausea, dizziness, hauntings? Well, have a pleasant sleep, and if you do experience any unusual phenomena, let me know and I shall add it to our records. I love this room. It's so quiet. You can see the stars.
There you are.
Emmett?
Some time, indeed. Yes. For you, at least. Believe me, I'd meant to get some proper sleep. But here we are, drifting along instead. Well, well, you too. And so we remain, to watch and wonder. Yes, indeed. To begin, we first must see the end.
To begin, we first must see the end. Carl has urgent news. Urk, I trust you've had a good rest. An envoy of Master Fortunate arrived not long ago, with a message the Ralperts have determined Medion's location. We've been asked to gather at the Rostra. I'll meet you there, along with the others. A great many of the helping hands that delivered the Adamanti are still here in Shaolin, and I for one couldn't be happier. Between the Aether Burner and to be refurbished, supplies be transported, and meals be prepared, we need all the assistance we can get. Even Lord Amanelane has been doing his part, albeit at a snail's pace. Still, it's the thought that counts. But a bit more effort wouldn't go amiss. While the form is not here in its entirety to brood and glare at us, Master Barnier's presence alone is enough to put me on edge. If you would know the reason for this assembly, you had better ask Master Leveilleur. What took you so long? We have much to discuss and scant time to do it. Alright, let's get to it. Everyone appears to be present and accounted for. Good. As you know, the Loporrits have deduced the whereabouts of Medion by means of a crystal bequeathed to us by Hydaelyn herself. Yokwari's location is a place far beyond the moon, in the farthest reaches of the Sea of Stars, at the edge of creation. A veritable Ultima Thule. Indeed. How then are we to reach it? An excellent question. Luckily for you, I have an equally excellent answer. In theory, with its advanced propulsion systems, the moon is capable of delivering you to Ultima Thule. But the myriad other facilities housed within would greatly impede travel through the Sea of Stars. Even the Mother Crystal may not possess ether enough to bear such a massive vessel for our destination and back. However, if we integrate our hyperhopper into your ether burner, we should be able to fire things up and jump our way to the end of the universe in no time. Father, does this mean... Bear in mind, this decision was not made solely at my discretion, but with the consent of the Forum. Hearing the Loporrit's proposal, the Forum was faced with a grave decision. To commit the Ark to this endeavor would mean abandoning both our plans to evacuate to the moon, and to resettle on another star. Needless to say, the proposition invited fierce debate. In the end, however, the forum was swayed by the simple fact that Heidelin believed you possessed of the strength needed to overcome this crisis. The Great Exodus was, after all, a plan of Heidelin's own making. Therefore, if in the 11th hour she would proffer another means by which we may seek salvation, we would be fools to dismiss it out of hand. Indeed, she sacrificed everything, her very existence, to avert the destruction of this star. That is why we have chosen to place our faith in Heidelin, in you. The Ark will be made ready for your voyage to Ultima Thule. What of all the people that have labored so tirelessly to prepare for the evacuation? They must be furious. I would not be so sure. They have not forgotten your deeds on the Magna Glacies, nor did your instrumental role in orchestrating the delivery of adamantite go unnoticed. No, the people do not protest, quite the contrary. They have expressed unwavering support for you and your mission. Are the Loperids too willing to abandon the Exodus? Were you not listening when I said we had both of Heidelin's love? We were born of Heidelin's love for Etheirus and its people. If it means your survival, we would do anything to help. And you'll most certainly have need of our expertise where you're going. There's no guarantee Ultima Thule is a place that supports life, an otherwise vexing problem our know-how can remedy. Besides, Heidelin chose us to lead the way to Medium. Why else would she give you a crystal only we can decipher? But more importantly, we were perfectly content to evacuate Etheirus until you brought us here, Urianger. And now we are enamored with the place. So what choice do we have but to save it? Of course, none of this is possible without you and the Scions. So I must ask, are you certain you wish to do this? We'll avert the final days, whatever it takes. Very well. We shall inform the Forum of your decision, and begin preparations to bolster the Ark with the, Hyper Hopper. The Loperids will coordinate with the Ilsabard contingent to have the necessary components transported via the Tower of Babel. Of course, it will take some time until the work is complete. For now, pray take your leave. It would seem there is naught to do but rest and prepare. Shall we? No need to worry about lending a hand with the Hyperhopper. We already have more than enough help, so go and relax while you still can. There is much to be done before the Ark can be made ready for your voyage. Would that I could be afforded time to speak with Alphino and Alistair. Alas, I can but pray they find a moment of quiet calm before the journey to come. As you can imagine, not all Forum members were willing to endorse this plan. Through no fault of yours, of course. Given what is at stake, it's only natural that opinions are divided. That said, the final decision was reached with an overwhelming majority, much to my surprise. Ere we depart, we must leave nothing undone. Quite, though it is difficult to conceive of how one can best prepare to brave a domain where Dynamis governs all. Nevertheless, Heidelin deemed us worthy of the trials that await. For lack of any other feasible options at this late stage, let us trust in her judgment and face Medion as we are. Which leaves the not-so-small task of coordinating our efforts here to you and Tatar. If all goes to plan, we'll be back before you know it. I certainly hope so. We will be praying for your safe return. Mayhap it will affect the Dynamis for the better. With that settled, we should get some rest and make the most of the time we've been afforded. Huh? The meeting's over, is it? You were in there for so long I started to worry. What did they have to say? Well, the fate of the universe. And all that. The edge of creation. I see. Rest assured, everything will remain in order until you return. And you will return. Actually, Auric, could I borrow you for a moment? Looks like your plans for internment are decided. For interim are decided. When the two of you have finished, meet us back at the Baldessian Annex, alright? Come with me to the Agora. I have something to show you. Welcome, Auric, to Tataru's Boutique. Taru's Boutique. I've always done my best to provide the Scions with fashionable attire, but in your case specifically, I make an extra effort to strive for the most functional, yet stylish clothing one could ask for. Not that I'm playing favorites, but you are the Warrior of Light. Faced with this unprecedented crisis, I knew you would need an ensemble, unlike anything I've created before, and that I wouldn't be able to do it alone. And so after enlisting the aid of the world's finest artisans, I finally completed my career-defining masterpiece. But then inspiration struck, and I saw a golden opportunity just begging to be seized. With the help of some Thavnarian refugees, I decided to set up shop here in Charlian. Of course, I would never charge you for any of our works. Perish the thought. Varsooth, how are things coming along? Everything is in order, Mistress Tataru. We'll be ready to open shortly. Which is why I brought you here, to be our very first patron. Would you mind waiting here a moment longer? The following event cannot be skipped. You may wish to cancel any pending Voodoo Finder registrations. Ah, I did not expect to find you here. I imagine Nidhana would also wish to offer her regards. Alas, after delivering our dragon scales to the engineers, she remained to assist with her work in the Ether Banner. This simulacrum, too, will stay in Charlian, while I oversee matters in Radzadhan. It is a rather convenient means to keep abreast of developments pertaining to the final days or anything else. It also allows me, after a fashion, to watch over my people in this distant land. Valshan, I was hoping you'd stop by. I can't thank you enough for allowing your artisans to work with me here at the boutique. Please, it is I who should be thanking you. This establishment has restored a sense of normalcy to their lives. You have blessed them with newfound purpose and a means by which to support themselves in these troubled times. What's more, when they at last return home to Radzadhan, the experience and knowledge they have granted in your employ will no doubt prove a boon to the artistry and commerce of our land. In fact, I came here to see how your new employees are settling in, and to express my gratitude for granting them this opportunity. It's an opportunity for me as well, believe you me. Your artisans have taught me so much about Thavnarian craftsmanship. Their resourcefulness and ingenuity are nothing short of inspiring. I can't wait to see what kind of wonders we'll come up with. I pray you every success in your endeavors, Mistress Tataru. Before coming here, I heard word of the Forum's decision, of what will soon be attempted. It was only then that I understood why my father called this star the last bastion of hope. Indeed, it was the last bastion, for the flame of every other star he encountered had likely been extinguished. In the boundless dark, the light brimming of life must have been blinding in its splendor. You journey unto the heavens to protect that light. May the scales of my kin serve you well. I have faith you will prevail, and restore peace and tranquility to the star. Would that Ahawan were alive to see it. I worry your faith in me may be misplaced. I should like to visit Ratatan again when this is all over. Yeah, I like Ratatan, and we should be honored to receive you. There is still much of Ratatan you have yet to see. Forgive me, but I must take my leave. Fare you well, and remember, the people of this star have not given up hope, and neither must you. Ugh, where must I go to get a meal with some flavor in this wasteland of taste? Manolane. Ulrich, old boy, whatever are you doing here? A new boutique, you say? I had been meaning to expand my wardrobe. Yes, something with a little more flair. Perhaps befitting a man of my station. Though I have nowhere to flaunt said raiment so long as my confinement continues indefinitely, I, the young Lord Fortem, insist that, so long as there is work to be done, no matter how trivial, I must abide here in Charlian. Thus do I toil, though every fibre of my being rails against it. Why, I've even suffered the company of that brute Sicard, to see supplies transported in a timely fashion. Yet, he was the one granted to leave this morning to participate in some supposed covert operation. So I suffer instead for his otherwise welcome absence. Now burdened with extra busy work, and without Honoroid here, there is no one to prepare my meals. I came here in the hopes to find a nice cafe, perhaps. Alas, the Charlian delicacies I've sampled were lacking in every respect. Have you tried Archon Loaf? Archon Loaf? Sounds sophisticated, like me. Thank you for the suggestion. With a full belly, I dare say I can endure this purgatory. If only a while longer. Ta-da, old boy. Oh, this guy. Hancock, what are you still doing here? You said you were returning immediately after dropping off your cargo. Yes, that was my original plan, after all. Any expertise required aside from the delivery of goods is well beyond my purview. But what manner of entrepreneur would squander an opportunity to study the markets of the northern seas? Worry not. I will return straightways to Kugane once I have finished. Of course, you would find a way to turn this crisis to your advantage. She wounds me, the industrious woman running a new boutique. I am not blind to the travails of those who fight on the front lines to deliver us from ruin. Indeed, I have every confidence they will succeed, and I would make myself and my business ready for their return. If you believe in them so devoutly, then why not put your money where your mouth is? Fair enough, Tataru, fair enough. There is not more that I can do to help ready the Ark and her heroes for their maiden voyage, but on your return I shall host a grand celebration in your honor at the Bokairo Inn. Accommodations are quite costly, and given the reputation of said establishment, but the East Aldenar Trading Company would be honored to foot the bill. Will there be lemon cakes? Oh, a man of tart taste, I see. Yes, there will be lemon cakes, and much, much more. The finest delicacies the world and Lord Lodorito have to offer. But let us speak more of this upon your return, lest I draw even more of Tataru's ire. Until when next we meet. Tataru is just not having it. Oh. Biggs and Wedge. Tataru. Biggs, Wedge, I take it work on the Ark proceeds apace. Aye, it does indeed. Collaborating with the greatest minds of Shaldian and Ratatan has been a rewarding experience. And that's to say nothing of what we've learned from the Loperites. The Ark is unlike anything we've ever had the pleasure to work on. Even Nero was rendered speechless on more than one occasion. I can't wait for you to see it. And you'll never guess who paid us a visit before we came to Charlian. Alpha. I think he sensed the coming danger and returned to check on us. He was always one to turn up on time of need, and I suppose that's why he decided to join us here in Charlian. Good thing, too. I don't know how he does it, but he has a knack for brightening your day just by being there. He sure does. It's still hard to believe we have the means to send you off into the great expanse, though. To the farthest known reaches of, well, everything. I never thought I'd live to see such marvels. Yet here I am. More often than not, you and the Scions are the catalyst that sparks the need for these great innovations. To think how much I've missed out on, had I not been a member of the Ironworks. Oh, an awful lot of work, to be fair, and the privilege of being worked like a cart, chocobo. Huh, there is that too. As busy as we've been, I wish there was more we could do for you, Auric. But no matter what happens, we have to keep believing for a brighter future. That we do, my friend. That we do. When you head back, would you tell the engineers I'll be along shortly with refreshments? That's very kind of you, Tataru. They'll be glad to hear it. And on that note, Wedge and I should get going. Still, a few more supplies to gather before we return. Wedge is adorable. Terribly sorry for the wait. Right this way, if you please. Right. I don't believe the two of you have been formally introduced. This is first Varsarud from Palaka's stand. Oh, I remember her. Pleased to meet you. The pleasure is mine. Thanks to Mistress Tataru, I and many of my friends have found gainful employment in this foreign land. It is only natural I feel fear in the face of calamity. In such times we must look to one another for strength and succor. I know not whether we will come to call this place home or return to Tavnair, but we are here today and are glad to have contributed to the cause. And contribute they did by helping to make your new garments as durable as possible. We put our heart and soul into them, and I have every confidence they'll keep you safe in the battles to come. Gods, to think how far we've come since our humble beginnings at the Wakened Sands. From the rising stones to the falling snows, and even a certain insufferable someone's ruby bazaar. We were always fortunate to find friends along the way. Even when you were swept away to the first, Grahatia was there to grant you sanctuary. I'll never forget the relief I felt when you all returned to us. I thought my heart would burst. Yours has been a long, long journey, and I've been privileged to watch, often with bated breath, as you persevered time and time again. For all the joy we've shared, there's been much sorrow as well. But I've long since learned you can't have one without the other. Which is why I promised to send you off to the Sea of Stars with a smile. And you can be certain I'll be the first to welcome you back on your return. One last meal to enjoy together.
Your business with Tataru is finished.
God, I love my armor.
My, what a thoughtful surprise. Whatever would we do without her?
We die without Tataru. That's what would happen.
Indeed. And she's right, you know. It hasn't been all doom and gloom.
Feels like a lifetime ago that Master Louis Soir gathered us together to form the Circle of Knowing.
Yeah.
Since then, we have experienced much. But rather than feeling wiser, the more I learn, the more I find my knowledge lacking.
That's life.
Forsooth. As a student, vainly did I believe that I held the secrets of creation in my grasp. Yet that which I had seized was but an insignificant sliver of what awaited in the wider world. Every encounter, every experience hath served to open mine eyes, enlightening and humbling me in equal measure. Even from those whom I called enemies have I learned many a valuable lesson.
Wisdom trumps knowledge. This is true for almost everyone.
What will we learn at the edge of the universe, I wonder?
Ultima Thule, where the bringer of the end makes her nest. I, for one, can't possibly imagine. But whatever awaits us there, we will survive. We must. For her.
You've got nothing left to prove. Not Serene, woman Philia.
Is aught the matter?
No, it's nothing. I just... Well, lately I find myself surprised at how much I've changed. How much we've all changed.
We've come far together, and if we have aught to say about it, we'll go further still. Aye, we will avert this calamity and return home. In preparation for which, we must give thought to what we hope to achieve after the proverbial dust has settled.
What with the primals and Ascians all but dealt with, I suppose we'll need to look for new hobbies. In all seriousness, though. In uniting to overcome a common foe, the disparate peoples of the world have found a way forward together. It's a truly gratifying sight to see.
Indeed. Though it was many years in the making, we have successfully set in motion the gears of fundamental change. With this, we have fulfilled our humble role as a symbol of hope. And I dare say it is time to bow out. After all, there is no shortage of hands to bear the torch in our stead.
You know, I never really considered I might live long enough to see an after. But even if my time as a scion came to an end, I don't expect that much would change. Traveling the world, going wherever the wind blows, lending a hand to those in need.
A journey for journey's sake. It doth suit thee well. I must confess I too have yearned to see more of the world. If thou art amenable to the suggestion, I would accompany thee. Mine ability to effect an air of normalcy through artful disguise is much improved, thou must concede.
Aye, well, improvement is relative. You still look suspicious no matter what you wear.
He's got a point there.
What of you, Ishtola? Any grand plans?
Why, continue my quest for knowledge, naturally. To begin with, I wish to know the state of the reflections, to which end I must find a means to travel between worlds.
She's gonna get to see Runar again.
'Tis the least I must do if I am to keep my promise.
I hope.
Should my pursuits prove unduly arduous, I won't hesitate to call on you. And in return, I will take you to see Reen one day. I'm sure you cannot wait to see the fine young woman she has become.
Spare me.
And what of thee? What wouldst thou pursue at duty's end?
Here's yours. My apologies for the wait.
Well, shall we make a toast? To victory.
To our comrades.
To the future of the star.
You have to cherish every moment with the people you love. Leaving so soon? I suppose it's for the best. If you'd rather not explore the bottom of the bottle with the Urianger, I dare say the others would welcome your company as well. If you can find them, that is. In any case, as long as you make the most of your time, then that is all that matters. You can always count on your friends to help you maintain perspective. A pity mine take a pervasive pleasure in it. I'd like to think I give as good as I get, though I'd fare better with the occasional assist from our consummate nodder. But it's all good fun, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I say, Orc, whence came this simulacrum that standeth beside thee? I see falsely, but Y'shtola and Thancred but moments ago employed the self-same doubling magic. Alright then, keep thy secrets. Oh, he's drunk. Oh, I get it. He's drunk. Okay.
Oh. What brings you here?
Alphino, my friend.
Ah, so you were worried that the Levier household might again be gripped by turmoil. All is well, I assure you. In my letters home, I had made mention of Estinian, you see. My mother wished to meet the legend in person, and so we arranged to have a spot of tea together.
Where were you in my hour of need? Fell beasts I can face, but I'm not made for idle chit-chat with lords and ladies.
Well, I for one thought you held your own. Mother was the picture of delight.
I might have been delighted myself, were we in a tavern with more agreeable drink. The thought of fleeing crossed my mind, but what then? I'd never hear the end of it, least of all from Tataru.
I'm sorry. 'Twas not my intent to cause you such distress. It's just... It was one of the things I didn't want to leave undone ere we set forth. That's not to say I think we won't be returning. Yet, given what lies ahead, I did not wish to leave for later that which I could do today. After all, tomorrow is never promised.
That's very true.
It's fine. Not like I had better things to do. Besides, seeing you with your mother brought back fond memories of my own. Be we rich or poor, family is family. Well, it's past time we were on our way.
Wait! Since I left home, I've made a great many mistakes. Mistakes for which I can never make amends. But through it all, you didn't give up on me. To have returned here with you at my side, it means more to me than you know. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart.
You're welcome, Alfie.
Forgive me, but it needed to be said.
I'm the one who owes you thanks. Were it not for you, I would not be alive today, nor come to terms with Nidhogg's spirit. I am ever grateful.
I suppose I should thank you both as well.
Well, we needn't make it a competition. You know, this must be what Hydaelyn meant when she spoke about depending on one another. However treacherous the road before us, together we will prevail.
If it weren't for these two, it would not have made the journey the epic, emotional journey that it has been. These two are really the heart of that journey. Alphino, like him or hate him, he's the heart of that journey. And yeah, you know, he made mistakes, but he's kind of like there to kind of show you, like, look, you know, it's okay to depend on others. It's okay, you know, to not be as strong as you thought you were. But the idea is to never give up. And that's what I love about it. That's what I love about them. All that remains is to return to the annex and give my armor one last polish. I expect Alphino has maintenance to carry out on those floating things of his, too. A few of our comrades decided to remain a while in Charlie, and after making their deliveries, did you happen to pass Sunny on your way here? They're falling asleep. You try speaking with Alice, but she's fast asleep. These two are adorable. Eternal winds.
Oh, knowing them, they're probably dreaming about the celestial adventures to come. Just as well. They've been running themselves ragged of late. Unlike you and the others, I'm a few steps removed from the danger and excitement. The things you all get up to never fail to impress me. But by the same token, I can't help but worry. Not only for your safety, but for your happiness. After everything you've sacrificed, you earned it 1,000 times over. From the simple pleasures of tucking into a hearty meal or collapsing into a comfortable bed, to the grand triumphs of visiting legendary lands or finding true love, you deserve all the joy in the world. There is so much that life has to offer, so much to be treasured and shared with those we hold dear. So promise me this. Come what may, you won't give up on your own happiness. When you're out there fighting tooth and nail, it's all too easy to forget. But in the end, your passions will be your greatest strength of all. Remember that.
This feels familiar. Well, 'tis good to be...
'Tis good to see you awake, Grahatia.
Wait! What am I... Gods, don't tell me I fell asleep.
Not that there's any shame in it, but you were sleeping like babies.
Oh, how embarrassing.
Not a word to anyone. Understood? Not one word. I'm told that sleeping in proper beds of your own choosing is a much more effective way to prepare for battle.
So, what were the two of you doing here?
I had a few books to return to the library. Thought I'd take care of it while I could.
And you?
It's a secret. What's with all the secrets? Just enjoying a little peace and quiet. Honestly, these friends in the Scions, they're the most encouraging people. They're like resembling the most encouraging people you will ever meet in your life. Gods, I didn't realize I was so tired. One moment I was resting my eyes, and the next, I should go and get some air, maybe a quick bout of training. But not sleep. I'll sleep when I'm dead. That sounds like Alisa. That's enough reading for one day. As we don't know how long we'll be away, I'd best return these books before we depart. And eat. I'm absolutely famished. What about you? I see. Perhaps I'll stop at the last stand on my way back. If nothing else, these two seem to be in good spirits. Still, I'll see them back to the annex for some proper rest. even if I have to drag them by the ears. Few final winks before embarking on your mission, I presume. You'll be happy to know your chambers have been cleaned and fresh linens laid out. I pray you enjoy the sweetest dreams on this final night before your big day. Are we going to see Hythlodaeus that night in the Royal Menagerie in Alamigo? Oh, we haven't checked up on Lisa in a while. Yeah, how's Lisa and Raban? Wait, Xenos? Hey, what the hell? What's going on with his hair?
You will never get what you want. Not even the battle you pine for so dearly. In that transcendent moment, what was it that I sought in you? And what was it that you sought in me?
Xenos Viator Galvus. I actually think Xenos is kind of cool, but you know, the Day of Reckoning. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is it. All our thoughts and prayers.
How often have we thus assembled? To combine our knowledge and seek solutions to the problems before us.
Back at the Waking Sands, it was all we could do to address the most minor of troubles. Who could have realized what we'd find when we began to look to the sources of the realm's woes?
At the Rising Stones, we made great strides and shared many moments. From the joyous to the sorrowful.
We've had occasion to call other places home too. Be it Ishgard or Kugane, we were fortunate to find sanctuary wherein we might take stock and continue our fight.
I was honored to host this company in the Crystarium, to stand with you all as we confronted the truth of the star itself.
And now from this place, we go to fight the most important battle of all.
This is it. This is everything that we've been walking towards.
The Forum has sent word. The Ark is ready. The Loporrits naturally will be commanding the vessel. They will see the 8 of you to Ultima Thule. Upon arriving, your objective is to find and vanquish Meteon. As a final formality, the Forum bade me ascertain your resolve. So, are you certain you wish to do this?
We are.
Then, ere you report to Thalmasane, I leave you with these words. You must triumph. What that means will differ for each of you. To make it back home, or to simply avert doom, or perhaps something else altogether. Yet whatever it is that drives you, I have faith in its power to see you through. So please, triumph. Triumph, as we who remain behind believe you will.
Let us be off then.
Wait!
Oh, Tataru.
Both Kryl and I will be there to see you off, but as your receptionist, I feel I need to say this here. Safe journey, all of you, and be safe.
Graha to you. You too, Tataru.